ごめんね素直じゃなくて夢の中なら言える思考回路はショート寸前今すぐ会いたいよ泣きたくなるよなムーンライト電話もできないみんなだって純情のしようハートは万華鏡月の光
The only thing that I can even muster is the faint.
Thunderclap and flash.
But then I pull the blade and the blood gets sprayed. Only got one form, but it's more than you can take. Gramps told me every day, and I listened to the lesson, that I should take that one thing and hone it to perfection. Me becoming Demon Slayer's part of what was destined. Press a blade into your neck and nest it right in your intestine. Even though I might be sleeping, you can bet I'm never resting. So be wary if you scare me, it's your head that I'm collecting. I may never be the hero of the story, but that doesn't mean that I will never share a part of glory. Maybe if Nezuko was the woman at my side, it won't be as devastating if I one day up and died. As long as I am here, you'll be alive. I'll take over when you need a certain service I provide. Cause when you fall asleep, that is when you come alive. So go and close your eyes, I'ma take you on a ride. I may never be the hero of the story, but that doesn't mean that I will never share a part of glory. Maybe if Nezuko was the woman at my side, it won't be as devastating if I one day up and died. As long as I am here, you'll be alive. I'll take over when you need a certain service I provide. Cause when you fall asleep, that is when you come alive. So go and close your eyes, I'ma take you on a ride. Me every day, and I listen to the lesson, that I should take that one thing and hone it to perfection. Me becoming Demon Slayer's part of what was destined. Press a blade into your neck and nest it right in your intestine. Even though I might be sleeping, you can bet I'm never resting. So be wary if you scare me, it's your head.
It's multi-time. Moon Red Ranger.
Hero of the story, but that doesn't mean that I will never share a part of glory. Maybe if Nezuko was the woman at my side, it won't be as devastating if I one day up and died. As long as I am here, you'll be alive. I'll take over when you need a certain service I provide. Cause when you fall asleep, that is when you come alive. So go and close your eyes, I'ma take you on a ride. I may never be the hero of the story, but that doesn't mean that I will never share a part of glory. Maybe if Nezuko was the woman at my side, it won't be as devastating if I one day up and died. As long as I am here, you'll be alive. I'll take over when you need a certain service I provide. Cause when you fall asleep, that is when you come alive. So go and close your eyes, I'ma take you on a ride.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like people is not satisfied with this patch, and also I'm kind of not satisfied either. They once again didn't tell the truth. This third patch was supposed to be to work on defense, right? Game still running the same. People still massing. People still getting away with murder. And it looks like I found a meme here that people is really getting tired of Murray's lies. And it's not even just Murray. Harada is allowing it. So they are getting very angry with these players. I mean, with these developers. Look at this meme right here. Like, it's very serious. It's like, Murray's like, I don't care what none of y'all say. Lily's like, stop messing up the game, and kicked him in the mouth. My secondary character. That's crazy. That's sad, man. Lily's kicked him right there in the air. It's crazy. Whoever did this is pretty cool. But But you guys, man, Tekken is headed down the wrong road. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm not satisfied with it. Very disappointed. It looked like the future of Tekken is not going to be good. And also got some more bad news. They done canceled future DLC because of the backlash which they didn't have. So now they're canceling Armor King and everything else. I get that. Fine, focus on fixing the game, but why would you cancel it now after you have the people expecting it and waiting for it? That is not okay. So technically, Murray has canceled DLC because he doesn't like the backlash of what people saying about the game and everything else. So technically, he's kind of like acting like Harada a little bit. Don't ask me for shit. Well, you know what, buddy? You're not doing the right thing, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you. But all jokes aside, like, you need to start doing something better than that. But anyway, hold on for a second, chat. After months and months promising to fix the game and make it more balanced or make it defense, this patch is supposed to be the focus on defense. That was a whole lie once again. You only drop a couple patches and that's it. And then now you gotta make an emergency patch to fix what caused. I hope it's the defense patch, and you guys left a lot of stuff. Are you supposed to fix Law? You supposed to fix Lee? You supposed to balance out the defense so we can defense so we can deal with the little bit of the cheesy offense, and you guys have not did any of that yet. Y'all did one thing right, fix them down a little bit of heat drop. That's the only thing. But then after that, you guys went back of not listening to your fans, not listening to the older Tekken players too as well. Y'all doing what y'all want to do, and it's very upsetting. I am very disappointed. I don't know what else to think anymore. It looks like Tekken's gonna head down the wrong road. Like the way this looking, there's a lot of videos. We're gonna get the Moonshot video. This gonna be part one of the Tekken's future. If they don't get it straight, we're gonna show that video. Then after that, the next video I'll work on. All right, let's go there real quick because, like it's. So now you're talking about canceling DLC because now you're gonna have more people get upset after you promise Armor King. You're like but I get that if you're canceling to fix the game, cool. But if you're not, if you're just canceling just to be funny and just to get the fan base mad, then you guys are wrong on your part once again. So that's all I'm gonna say. I should have done this before. Fix the game, then added DLC characters. Look what you guys did. Drop Fakaram, and the game is still not properly fixed. And yeah, so yep.
Bow down before my psycho power.
Mike Murray put out this tweet randomly. It says, I blocked so many people. The man himself, Hideo Kojima, has finally unblocked me. We all know Michael Murray has been blocking a lot of people, right? Some people definitely deserve to be blocked, We know that they've had a very rough back and forth with the player base for a very long time. But basically what ended up happening was Tekken 8 released, everyone learned the game and realized that it wasn't good. Everyone then rejected it. And the developers didn't accept that rejection because they were reaching success. Their game was selling faster than Tekken 7, and I think it was doing that because of Tekken 7. I don't think Tekken 8 was selling faster than Tekken 7 because Tekken 8 was good. I think it was selling faster than Tekken 7 because Tekken 7 was so great. It was building off of the momentum. Those early sales made them believe that their game was really good and that they can do no wrong. So they continued to not listen to players and continue with this terrible balancing philosophy. But also they made a lot of bad business decisions along the way, and they got so much hate for it. So much hate. Honestly, if we go and look at the tweet from Harada, where Harada said that the hate is justified, right? And they said this before, right? That's why they apologized. That's why they promised to do better. And I think they are doing better. but it's just not as much as people want them to do. The players hate them now. Think about this. The full 180 that happened, Harada, Michael Murray, all of the Tekken team were some of the most respected developers. They were used as an example of what other devs should be. You know, their communication with the team, with the players, their supporting of tournaments, supporting of all of, like, what they did was really great, bro. But now that has all been undermined by their use of Twitter and the bad bouncing of the game. I honestly don't think they would be as hated if they didn't use Twitter. And it seems like they're realizing that, because we already had Harada say that he's probably going to shut down his Twitter account and they're just going to set up a Discord and communicate that way. They're realizing that them on Twitter is creating a lot of problems. But as you can see here, going back to this original tweet about Michael Murray, someone says, "Hey Michael, would you do more documentaries on characters like Fakamam? It was very interesting to learn more about him and his design. Made me interested in him." Michael Murray says, "Unfortunately, some people complained so much that the team behind it didn't see the value in doing it anymore." So this is a very powerful tweet, because you remember that Bandai Namco showcase, right, where they showed off Fakamam, and Michael Murray was driving in the car. They were talking about the tattoos, they were talking about the design and whatnot. People memed on that very harshly. Now, I do agree that they probably could have made it a little bit better with putting all of the gameplay they gave to IGN. They could have put some of that stuff in their own production and people would have loved it. The fact that we walked away, we sat through like 2 hours of that, right? The fact that we walked away from that with only like 2 small gameplay clips is where they went wrong. But even with that being said, they got a lot of hate for it. A lot of hate for it. And now they're basically saying we're not doing it anymore. I think we all would agree them doing something like that for Armor King would be awesome. Them doing something like that for Miguel or Julia or Bob or whatever character you guys like, it would be awesome. But this is what happens when the players go too far in their backlash. Now, I 100% think that Tekken 8 is not a good game currently. It's getting better. Sometimes, depending on what character you're fighting, it's a fun game. But in...
Sorry, I just want to say this here. Yes. Moonsault is right about one thing. If you backflash too much, you cause the developers not to do nothing. They will not fix the game. If they feel disrespected and insulted and threatened, they will not do nothing. So that's another big issue that they need to slow down on. It looks like that a lot of people's getting hate because of that backflash. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm upset, but I don't go on Twitter and start bashing and tell them what they need to do and stuff. I just say my own feeling about it right here. Like, yeah, I'm upset that this game is still in this state and it's getting worse, and now they're on the road of almost destroying Tekken. Yes, I'm very disappointed. But at the end of the day, like, something needs to get done. Like, they need to put it to death. Now they're talking about canceling the DLC because there's all this backlash. I get that, but maybe if you guys would have fixed the game properly, you know, and that y'all wouldn't have this problem, you know. Fix the game and none of this wouldn't be a problem, you know. And it'll be fine. But no, they saying that they cannot take the aggression out the game because it took them years to make that type of game like that. So you saying you can't just drop a patch to make the frames like regular Tekken again? You guys know what I mean. I'm guessing they just can't do that unless they don't want to do it at this point. And this is what I mean. This is why they're getting all the backlash. They're not listening to their fan base. If they listen to their fan base, everything will get better, and then the game will be fixed. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's continue on the video.
It's not fun, and to say that and critique the game for that is 100% fair. But a lot of players are crossing the line, and they're just attacking the developers, making threats. They're just going too far, and this is the consequences of those players who are doing that. All of those tweets about lore and the history of Tekken and characters, I know people would say, I don't care about that. I don't care about any of that stuff because the game sucks.
And you know what? Moonsword is right. Yes, you can be mad, but making threats and death threatening and insulting developers more, even insulting them, period, is not a good idea. Now, they're talking about canceling DLC. The next step is they're going to cancel other stuff if you guys don't calm down. Like, that is not good. Like now the player base is causing the game going to be crashing out, and that's not okay. Like I get that. Yes, the game is fucked up, but you have to understand something. Yes, it's annoying, but it's going to take them time to. You know how long it caused them to fix that game? It's probably going to take a long time to fix that whole game, because they started probably working on it like 2020. No. 2019 or 2021. They probably started working on that game as soon as Tekken 7 was getting ready to be finished. That's what I really think. So it's going to take them that same amount of time, I think. But for you guys to be on Twitter, be bashing, threatening, getting on these alt accounts and harassing them and cussing them out, it's going to make it worse. Y'all need to stop. Yes, I complain too, but not like this. You don't go on Twitter and threaten the developers every day, or every 5 minutes or every other day. It's not okay. You will make it worse. You will cause them to cancel our game out, and we'll never have a good Tekken ever again. All right, let's continue.
And I agree. But my thing is that the game is getting better, and when the game gets better, we're still going to have the developers not wanting to communicate. So that's
Moonsault, I'll say the game is kind of getting better slowly, not getting fully better, because for one, we still got the aggressiveness. They still got the constant massing. Two, we still got the heat. They say they knock down the heat, but it still needs to be a little more. Three, the camera angles on the game and the cameras are pretty wild. It's not right. And four, like, it's getting a little bit better, but it's not where it's supposed to be yet. So that right there, I have to put my 2 cents in. Sorry, Moonsault.
The thing is, like, acting like a rampaging baby and destroying everything is going to have a long-lasting consequence for a temporary problem. So I think this is something that players who are attacking the developers should think about. But Zumio, I like Zumio. Zumio says, it's funny how a decision like this can be made so quickly, but things the community complain about 24/7 takes months to be fixed. What Zumio is saying is true here. Cheaters, for example, huge cheating problem plaguing the whole entire game, and the developers are doing nothing about it. I don't care if the devs do not do not talk to us. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who feel that way. I think I'm one of the few who cares. This person says, I know you guys read some replies for feedback, so I hope my feedback is received well. I don't think that it was a documentary that they didn't appreciate. Instead, it was the fact that we already seen a lot of the information presented. It would have been awesome to see what character Fakamon was initially before you guys changed him to who we have today. That is something the documentary will be, and it would be awesome to answer questions for if he's a definitive replacement for Bruce. The showcase for Fakamon gave us less than an overview from IGN, which made it underwhelming. If you compare that presentation to the presentation they did in Tekken 7, it's a night and day difference. This is a 12-minute video that was done in Tekken 7 when Leroy and Fakamon were about to release. And not only did these guys show a lot of new gameplay, they showed different concepts of what they wanted the character to look like.
That's when they
showed so much. Like, look at this, really.
That's when they was on the right track right here. This is when they was doing good. Like, this is when they was actually doing their thing, doing their shit. Like, they fell down. They fell down and slipped. That's what I can say about that. That's when they was actually doing their actual thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, chat. I don't know, guys, but I just feel like if they go back to their roots, they be fine. They be just fine. They wouldn't complain. It wouldn't be no death threats. It wouldn't be no those players threatening every 5 minutes. Like, they gotta give it time to be fixed. I get that. Yes, I was mad when they didn't drop that defensive patch, but you know what? I have to be like, look, man, you know what? They're dropping another mercy patch by next week. So hopefully may have something to do with that. So they're gonna have to slow down and stop threatening. The fan base is gonna cause the other fan base is gonna cause us not to have Tekken. So yeah. So they really need to chill out.
Smith. That's fire, right? All of the different concepts that they were going to go with, and they did this. And they even showed mocap, right? They kind of did this in the dev diary, or in the documentary that they showed us. But this one
I'm
they showed
getting up.
more. There was a point in time where I put all of these clips together, and I think I uploaded that just to see like the
wrong, Kitty?
mocap in its entirety. But it was like a minute's worth of footage, like just under a minute. And the fact that we didn't
Oh
even
no,
walk away
she always
with
do that.
you
She's
know,
probably
a
hungry.
minute worth of mocap
Should be
this
food.
time around. And
Hold
I'm
on, I
not
got
saying
it.
you have to do a direct comparison between Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 where, okay, this is 1 minute, so you need to make sure you do a minute there. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
No, I'm not saying
this
that. I'm just saying what you're doing.
dev diary was created with so much passion and so much was put into it. Like, sitting down and watching this, first off, it didn't take 2 hours. It was only 12 minutes. It's a YouTube video. But then, two, all of the information that you learned here was really something amazing. This is what the developers should understand, is that this is what the players were expecting. This is what we wanted. It's that if Michael Murray and the community had more self-controls, this could have been great. Yeah. But also, I do get it too. The players are just sick of it. Put yourself in a position of the players. You've seen the highest highs of what this game could be. And then little by little, you've seen it start to go down a wrong path, a bad path. It goes left, it goes left, it goes left. You're trying to give some criticism here and there. You're trying to give some feedback here and there to steer this ship back on the right course.
And then there's one thing that Moonsault is, right? Yes. At first, yes. The game can be so much more. This game is actually, when this game first came out on beta, it felt pretty good. Like, nothing was wrong with it. But the only thing is, the only thing was messed up is that all the characters was safe in the beta. And that's the crazy part. The beta was kind of broken, but then when they came out with the game, it was okay, but then we starting to realize that it's way too aggressive. So that's one thing they can fix. Alright? That's one. Then two. Like, hold on, kitties. Over here feeding my cats. Then two. Like, what they could have done was, they could have fixed all of that right on the fly. At least drop a little bit of patch in there, but they didn't do that. They was focusing on cosmetics and focused on having us pay for their cosmetic in DLCs. That's another thing about that. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. I'm still kind of mad because I missed round 3 for some odd reason. Actually, I didn't miss it. I didn't get my cape. And I like making customizations. You guys know that. So, the only thing I'm saying is that they should at least, they need to start listening to the player base. For the players that miss certain rounds by accident or it got glitched, they need to just add it in the cosmetic pack or add it in treasure battle or something like that, or you know what I mean, to unlock it. That's what they need to start doing as well too. That's another big issue. Like, cosmetics has no business, and even customizations has no business being that much money. I'm sorry, has no business being. Oh, this chicken been out for a minute. I'm gonna have to put that back. Put that on. Hold on, chat. I bet it don't spoil. Like, cosmetics has no business being what it's being. I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, it could be better. But yeah, Tekken need to get on the road. There was a couple times that they didn't want to take the criticism. Yeah, there's criticism being thrown. They didn't want to take that. They didn't want to take the criticism at all. So yeah, I get that. So that's kind of bad. No criticism. They didn't want to take. They got mad and started blocking everybody. They done block. I made a couple past videos of them getting mad at misplay stuff, and they blocked her off the grid. They blocked a lot of people, even well-known Tekken players. That's another big thing. They don't want to take no criticism. Michael Murray don't want to take no criticism. I don't know about Harada, but it looks like Michael Murray is once again is maybe causing a little bit of issue, because like it looks like every time I turn around, he's arguing with somebody. and then he has to end up, and then he blocks him because he doesn't want to hear nothing bad about the game. Well, guess what? You guys are Tekken developers for a reason. If they don't like the game, you have to hear people out. I'm gonna sit outside, okay? Well, for a second. Oh, it's kind of hot out here, but. If they don't like the game, they don't like the game. They don't have to like the game. You get what I'm saying? Like, if they don't like the game and y'all need to fix, they need to be fixed. It's a good reason why it needs to be fixed. But if you guys gonna sit there and be disrespectful I'm talking about the player base now. The other player base gonna be disrespectful, start threatening them. You're gonna cause them the punish us. Now they talking about canceling DLC and other stuff, other things that's probably gonna be coming maybe to fix the game because you guys keep talking. That's not good. You guys got to slow down, take a breather, and give it a chance. And I get that. It was a couple of times when we did slow down. They didn't do what they need to do. But anyway, let's continue.
Developers aren't listening though. They're telling you that you're wrong. They're ignoring you. And then a new game releases. They continue to do the same thing. No, you guys are wrong. Look at the sales. Only the pros don't like the game. Everyone else loves it. You know, you guys don't know what you're talking about. That
is not true. I am an intermediate, casual, somewhat high-level player that still sucks at the game, but I have a problem with the game. I'm not a pro player, so the Tekken developers is definitely wrong about that. That's all I'm gonna say. Definitely wrong about that. And that needs to be fixed. Are those are spiders? What is that? I don't know what they are, but I don't think they are. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. They are definitely wrong about that. The game needs to be fixed. It's not just Tekken players. There's just high-level streamers that almost close to being pros is complaining about the game too. But that's besides the point.
Once they finally really break the game beyond repair, then they want to apologize and then they want to say they could do better. So I get why the players are so angry, and I do think that the situation basically goes back to the players or the devs.
So technically, I'm sorry to keep pausing this, there's both sides. The devs are kind of wrong, and even us players is kind of wrong for getting so two wrongs. It's like a thing. Two wrongs don't two wrongs don't make it right. So technically, that's what's going on right now. So everybody's getting angry and not hearing each other out. Technically, the devs is not hearing the players out because the players is death threatening them and stuff. So I get that. That's wrong on the players' part. But then when you do ask nicely about fixing some part of the game, they don't hear the player base out. So two wrongs definitely don't make it right. So in my biggest opinion, y'all all need to cool off, think, take a breather, and then try to figure out what y'all need to do to be fixed. Because now we're going to get punished now because the other people that is constantly harassing them on fucking Twitter about this game. Now they canceled the DLC. So now that means if they cancel the DLC, that means they're going to cancel seasons, and that's not good. That means they're going to cause their game to go down the drain because y'all need to stop. Like, all I'm going to say is yes, we complain. We can complain and get upset, but do not go to them directly, death threatening, insulting, stuff like that, because that's going to make it worse. They will not do nothing to help us. So think about it that way. You guys have to understand. Like, two wrongs does not make a right. The player base is wrong for death threatening, and also the developers is wrong for not hearing out and not listening. That's what I'm saying about that.
Devs are ultra responsible because it was them who threw the first stone. They were the ones who decided to release pay-to-win DLC, to charge for frame data, to start changing the properties of moves and how they existed for the previous 30 years. Randomly, in a generic, normal update, made the Hell Sweep track both directions without any explanation. I remember at the time I was watching a Main Man video. Main Man was saying, why did they do this? Are they going to explain? No, they're just going to change it back and act like it never happened? And I'm not talking about explaining like a rude tweet, because that's how we got the why side stuff when you just block. That was Michael Murray, who's not a part of the balancing team, explaining balance. That's when the Katsu should have been there and be like, hey, we did this for this reason. We did this because of that. And I mean, if you think about it, we're still dealing with some of those issues now in Tekken 8. Of course, everyone hated how they were trying to put chip damage on throw breaks. But why did they... What I was saying at the start is, why did they feel the need to do that? If they explained those decisions, maybe we would understand so much more about this game. Jin had that one kick that was launch punchable. Now it's not launch punchable anymore. That move also was that way for a very long time. Why did they feel the need to change that? They're changing a lot of core properties with no explanation. An example of where they did do this is the key charge change. So they took off the counter hit properties and they gave it bonus damage. Harada explained, basically, long story short, he said this should have been done a long time ago. I still disagree with that. I think the key charge work back then was so much better and it's so much more unique, and now people don't really even do it anymore. It's a dead mechanic now. But at least they explained why they felt that was necessary. They should do that for all the other major changes that they're making. Not minor changes, but major changes, right? Because we seem to always end up in a situation where the developers are trying to change some core mechanic of a character or the game with no explanation. I think that would help us understand their philosophy as a whole. Because also so the Tekken Summer updates that they did, they barely said or showed anything there. But that being their first, Tekken Talk since the Season 2 dropped in the Backlash, that is when they should have really laid out their roadmap, their plan, their ideas, and they said nothing. And we still know nothing about the direction of the game. Think about that. We just had a Tekken Talk and we know nothing about the direction of the game. And that's why people are losing interest and they don't believe, they don't have faith, they don't trust, because the developers gave them nothing to trust, to look forward to. Yes, Fakabam isn't super overpowered like Anna. Yes, this update is good, but it's not enough. In an era where...
That's what I want to get at. The update is okay, but it's not enough. You guys promised, like I said, they promised to add defense to stop the offense. But they didn't do that. They didn't add enough. They left it out, and that's the first thing I noticed too. They promised to fix Lee. That's not in there. They promised to fix Law. That's not in there. So they done messed up a little. They kind of messed up, But it goes for both sides. Both sides needs to listen. That's what's the problem here. I say in my opinion. The people down on Twitter need to stop with the threatening, right? And then the devs, the game developers like Murray and Harada needs to stop making promises that they're not keeping. Either they will keep the promise or don't keep it. That's what's the biggest thing going on. That's another reason why the people is getting upset, because they are making promises is not keeping them. So that's causing a big issue right now. But then on the other thing, on the player base, it's still not okay for them to threaten them, because that's going to make it worse. Look what's going on. Now they talking about canceling DLC because they don't like the death threats and the disrespect. So that's pretty bad right now. Tekken's in a bad, rough situation right now.
Their players are looking for a reason to hope. The developers aren't giving them that. It's just silence. It's silence after a long campaign of terrible decisions. But see, here's the thing. Their PR team is telling them to do this. Their PR team is ultra concerned about Backlash. They're working overtime to try to make sure there's no PR disasters. And they're probably telling...
Moonsault, you're probably right, though, but at the end of the day, man, you have to understand something, bro. Like, that's kind of bad for them to tell them to keep quiet like that, because now it makes Harada and Murray look like liars when these patches are not finished and not correct. now it's a whole nother issue. So I don't think that's a good idea. Now I get the fact that you guys want to listen to the backflash, but maybe just say that. Let people know that the reason why we're not telling the devs the other details because we want to hear you guys how you guys feel about the patches first. So maybe they are dropping these patches on purpose to see how, so to get like a response from them. If that's what they're doing, they need to say that because it's causing so many problems. Because it's not okay. I'm just saying.
And the developers to stay silent. But in doing so, they're creating more issues because now isn't a time for silence. Now is a time for explaining the future, especially with that Tekken Summer updates. What's the main takeaway here? I think the main takeaway is that this didn't need to happen. They had a flawed vision followed by arrogance. Yet cocky devs with a bad vision.
We are looking for gamers who want to learn.
All right, so yep, that's yeah, he's right. Like they're not looking too hot, chat. I'm sorry. Like this is not good. It's not good, and they're not looking too good right now. He's on. It's not looking too good right now, chat. So what I'm gonna say is this right here is that they need to pull themselves together. They need to pull themselves together, chat. They need to do something. Oh, I like the female Red Ranger. She look cute, looking good. Sorry about that. They need to pull themselves together, chat. They need to do something before it's too late. Like they're making it 80 times worse, meaning they are not trying to follow or listen anything what we're talking about, what we're trying to get to them, meaning that is like I just feel like they're just not trying to hear us out. Something needs to be done. And also there's 2 more videos that is coming, and then I'm gonna post my Tekken King video with Law for this season 2. And did I got June? I think I recorded June too, I think, but I'm not too sure. Yeah. But anyway, all I'm saying is that decisions need to be made before Tekken is going to be no more. This is scary. I'm kind of afraid of this. I have a feeling this was going to keep on happening. Like, Tekken is not going to last much longer if they continue on making these type of decisions. Like Tekken is in a bad state right now. Like, and the more they don't fix it, the more it's gonna get even more worse. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Tekken. I grew up playing Tekken. But like I said, my first fighting game was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. And then after that, but Mortal Kombat I grasped a little bit because Easy Street Fighter is my worst one, but I still play it. And also Tekken. I clicked onto that, somehow. Just massive puzzle, but like I said, we grew up with Tekken, and the Harada, man, your games was great back then. I don't know what's going on now. I know you want to please the new generation, but the way this looking, it's not going out too well. You got to hear both sides out. That's the biggest problem. If you don't hear both sides out, everything is going to fail. Everything is going to go down the drain. That's what's going on right now. So please, hear both sides out before it's too late. And also, people on Twitter, stop threatening the game developers, because the more you do it, the more they're going to punish us for threatening. Look what they're doing. They talking about canceling DLC. The next step is they're going to talk about canceling season 3, and that's going to be a problem. I think we're in season 2 right now. We're in season 2, right? I think we're in season 2. Season 3 is like in a whole nother year. If you guys keep this up, they're going to cancel that, and that's not going to be good. So I'm praying right now that this gonna pass, Oh, yes. Do we want? We just wanted. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry about that. We just wanted. I wanted Law to be fixed, and even Lee, because I wanted to check out Lee. But you know what? That's all. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's their game, so we have no choice. We gotta wait. You know. But the more you guys threaten, the more you guys pout, the more you guys do this, it's not gonna happen. So all I'm saying is that you guys need to chill out, or the future of our Tekken is going to be no more. But anyway, guys, that's all I want to say for now. I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. I'm going to look and see what else I can find. And yeah, that's my opinion about what's going on. People on Twitter, stop threatening the game developers. You're making it 80 times worse. Stop it. Yes, you can complain. Don't threaten. There's a difference. Complain all you want. Don't threaten. Don't be insulting. Don't do this. Don't just stop. Because if you bother them every day, they're not gonna fix nothing. Trust me, they can fix this game. They can really fix it if they really want to. The reason why they're not doing it because you guys are insulting, being disrespectful, and they just holding up the process on purpose. I can see that. I'm seeing it. That's what I'm seeing right now. So, please, don't go and harass them that much anymore. I know this probably won't gonna work. They're probably not gonna listen, but that's all I'm saying. It needs to stop. But anyway, chat, thank you for listening. I'm gonna finish working on these other videos real quick, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Peace. May the power protect you.
I'ma make it.